back to Predictions Week. Today, we are getting an early preview of Brou's Ballot. Chris Broussard, of course, is an official voter of the league's awards, has been for years, but this is just in pencil.
Yes.
Unlike our predictions, which we are staked to, even though earlier today, Brou tried to move off of his Clippers pick in the morning meeting. Yeah. Brou, take it away.
I do have an adjustment later on. All right, these are the awards, and again, it's in pencil. There's a little time left, so maybe some of this will change. Rookie of the Year, Wemby, he's going to be the face of the league. And I'm going to say this, and this shouldn't even be a surprise. I'm not saying this is going to happen for sure. I'm not saying it's definite. Ceiling, go.
Oh, wow.
Ceiling. That's the ceiling. He might not reach his ceiling, but that's the ceiling.
And floor is Akeem.
Probably. Probably.
His floor?
I mean, unless he gets hurt.
If he's
healthy, yeah, the dude is crazy. Let me see that again.
I mean, it's pretty good.
All right, so Wemby is the rookie of the year. Malik Monk, I'm sure you like this.
Yes.
You know what I liked about Monk is that you got a lot of scores off the bench. He's efficient.
Yeah.
There are a few more that are efficient, but there are a lot of guys around 40% shooting, 41. He's at 45 and 37 from three, and he's a playmaker. Gives you 5.5 assists a game.
I like Monk.
Very few guys are doing that. He's playing really well. Defensive Player of the Year, I know Nick's not going to like this. Gobert. Yeah. He's going to tie Ben Wallace and Dikembe Mutombo. He is the anchor of the best defensive team in the league.
And it's best by a lot.
Yeah, and he's individually, he's got the best defensive rating in the league. Yeah. Mark Daigneault, come on. Top seed in the West, tied with Denver. They may end up at number 2, but right now he's tied for number 1 with a team that's oldest starters 25 years old. Huh. Yeah. Think about that. I mean, that's crazy. So this dude can coach. So
if I may, just so this is as you know, you guys know, I don't have a vote. I don't have a ballot. At this point, it seems I never will. That's fine. I've come to terms with it. If I did, this would be mine at the moment as well. I agree with Brou.
You don't need one, really.
Exactly. There you go. But I would like to focus just for a moment on Rookie of the Year, because Wilds before the year was big on Chet, and Chet probably would finish second. So that was a good take. Like, Wemby's been better than I think even Brou expected this season. And so I am not hesitant to bring up my Category 1 instantly correct takes or my Category 2 eventually correct takes. My Scoot Rookie of the Year take might be the rare Cat 3 Brou, so we're going to throw it on there. Hasn't gone great for the third pick of the draft. Not a little, more than a little disappointing for Scoot Henderson. And so I just, I'm just being fair and being honest. You were at least up to 1 year in. I'm not saying Scoot's ceiling isn't the GOAT. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that through 1 year, Brou appears to be winning that argument. Fair. So credit to you, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm something,
No, there's nothing coming.
There's something coming from out behind there, some break dancers, some banners.
No.
All right, here, MVP.
Yeah.
And this is where we'll have some fun. Jokić, it's not just, yes, I think he's the best player in the world, but we know the best player doesn't win it every year. But Nick, he's the best offensive player in the league, I think. Yeah. I mean, scoring, he does it all. There's nothing he can't do offensively. And then defensively, I mean, he's not the greatest defender, but he leads the league in defensive plus minus. He's up there in defensive rating. Like, he's not a weak link defensively because he's so big and he's smart.
So they can get those fake reviews.
Here's the other thing, Nick. He is, of the Western Conference's top 8 teams, and you could even include the Lakers at 9, Golden State, not really. There's 2 of them that don't have don't have multiple All-Stars that are pretty much still playing well. He's one of them. So this guy has the best record in the West, running through the West, and with no All-Star teammate. SGA, the second team. Sure. They're the other team that doesn't have another All-Star. And I talked about how young they are. This guy's leading the league in steals, second in scoring. I got to give him his props. He's got a bunch of young kids that he's carrying. He's young himself. Tatum, look, last week was a rough week for him.
Totally fair.
Wasn't clutch, but look, I can't say Giannis is clutch as far as like mentality
Giannis
might
has
be
been better
clutch,
than Tatum
but he's not a go. No, Tatum. They got the best record in the league by a mile.
Yep.
6 games over the best team in the West. 9.5 games over Milwaukee in the East. He leads them in scoring, in rebounding. Is right there tied with Derek White essentially for assist lead. I got to give him his props, and they got the 5th best margin of victory ever.
Correct.
Yeah. So then I got Giannis at number 4. He's playing well. I do think they've been disappointing, Nick, though. For them, he's got a great second guy in Dame, and I get it, there's an adjustment, but they've been a little bit disappointing. Still got a shot. And then Luka, Luka's just a triple-double machine, even though they're not playing great as a team necessarily. I got to give him his love.
Great job. So if Joker wins his 3rd MVP, this is the company he would be with. Everybody has 3 or more. The bottom row, Magic, Larry, Moses, and then Joker if he got 3. So how do you think this would affect his legacy, Nick?
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, the top, I disagree with Brou and SGA and Tatum. I'd have Jokić and then Giannis, and I'd have it closer than Brou seems to have it. Because Giannis, you could put his head there where Jokic's is. But that's right. That's what, listen, that's the company of which he is trying to keep. The only person on that list that right now he already is within reaching distance of in the all-time rankings is Moses.
Right. And I think he'll get Moses.
No, I think he's likely to surpass Moses in most people's all-time rankings. I think we don't have to get into it. Wilds gets annoyed when Brou and I do 80s basketball reminiscing, but I think Moses is one of the most underrated players ever. I think he's one of the 15 greatest players ever. But that's the area Jokić is trying to encroach upon. I don't think that winning this MVP, Brou, and the championship this year for Jokić or Giannis would move them ahead of anyone else on that list.
Moses, though.
It would. For a championship and MVP for either of those 2 guys would move ahead of Moses, but not Bird or Magic or Wilt.
Okay. Quickly, title time. Celtics officially the favorite, and Boston dispatched to the Jazz last night for their 51st win of the year. They also, as Brou mentioned, have an 11-point margin of victory, good for 5th of all time, with the caveat that the teams ahead of them all won the title. So, Brou, does this sway you to thinking the Celtics are going to bring home the Larry O'Brien trophy?
It's an interesting thing. I mean, you can't deny that history, but I will say this. I talked to Hubs about this. He said it was okay. He said stuff is written in, the cement is wet still. So I still got Boston winning the East.
Week.
I know. This is still predictions week. Yeah. I got Boston winning the East, but instead of beating Miami, they're going to beat Milwaukee in the conference finals.
What?
So it's Boston over Milwaukee. And
so
talk to Hubs. You got an issue
that?
with
All right, but who do you have in the finals? All right, so,
no, I got Boston beating Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
So that hasn't changed. But I got Denver beating Boston. I think Jokić is just too good. And Jamal Murray.
Yeah, who you keep saying Jokić gets MVP because he hasn't been an All-Star, and now you're going to tell me how great Jamal Murray is.
He's interesting because you know what? There are a few guys here. I think Calvin Murphy maybe made one All-Star team. He's a Hall of Famer. He right now is like on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and he's never made an All-Star.
Well, then maybe we should.
So look at this. He's averaging numbers. In the regular season, 17 points. He's at 25 in the playoffs.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The dude is bad.
Agreed,
in the playoffs.
but you can't be like the Nuggets have nobody but Jokić, so he's winning MVP.
It's a fact that he's never made an All-Star.
But now he's a Hall of Famer.
And he's not Dame.
All right, so
Dame's
I don't
75.
have to change anything that I did yesterday or the day before, because Bru's also, by the way, going to abandon the Clippers being in the conference finals in a moment.
I mean, if they get hurt, it's in the bylaws. I wrote the bylaws.
I'm going to be, Brou, the only person that's going to believe in the Bucks. The fear of the deer. That Wilds used to love the Bucks. He brought out a reindeer. The guy dropped his antlers on him.
Twice bitten, one shot.
Bucks over Nuggets for the finals.
Ooh, really? No one's beating Denver in a 7-game series. We know how it's going to go. Denver in 6, maybe even 5.
Wow.
Over the Celtics.
I like 6.
I like 5, to be
honest.
If
it happens in 5, the Celtics will make a major change.
You think?
If the Celtics, even if they make the finals, if they get worked, then they'll make a significant
Also, if Denver
move
has to play the Lakers, that post sweep, it's that long. You go into Boston.
Close
game
sweep
1.
though, Nick. Close sweep.
That's not a thing, guys.
4 games by a total of 15 points.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.